been waiting for something and you thought, man, I wish God would just speak to me. I wish he would just tell me what's going on. I wish he'd pull the curtain back and go, let me just tell you how everything's unfolding. I mean, we live in a time that makes it so hard to wait, don't we? I mean, we live in an instant culture. But that instant culture makes it so hard for us to wait. It really does. We don't wait well. But the fact of the matter is, every single person, you and I, all of us are waiting on something, aren't you? What if waiting wasn't something that we kind of grinded our way through, but it really was a gift of God? What if in the waiting, God was going to tell us something about faith? A God that is an instant God does not require any faith. What if in the waiting, God wanted to reveal something about our heart and our life and our character and our nature that we otherwise wouldn't see or know? What if waiting wasn't something to be ignored or to be pushed back? What if it was something to be invited in and be embraced? The waiting is not wasted if you invite Jesus into the middle of it.
God is at work in your life, maybe even especially in the moments you don't see him, the moments he's not answering the prayer the way that you prayed the prayer. And is it possible that he's actually working all around me, but my eyes aren't seeing it? Is it possible that one of the reasons we miss God's plan is because he's not doing ours? You need to know that it's absolutely normal for God to be doing great things when it looks like he's doing nothing. Let me say this again. It's a big deal. It is absolutely normal for God to be doing unbelievably amazing things in moments that look to us like he's doing nothing. Here's why. If you haven't noticed yet, God doesn't typically tell us his plans. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's because if you and I heard what he was going to do, we would like veto it. Or if he told us what we were going to do, we would be terrified. Or we just go, hey, God, you know what? I like your plan pretty well, but could we tweak it a little? And instead, here's what God does. God works in our life and says, okay, I'm going to do this. And sometimes it looks good and sometimes it looks bad, but I'm going to do that. You're not going to know where this is going to go. I'm just going to ask you to live the next moment that I gave you the right way. And when you live that moment well, I'll give you a next. And then I'll give you a next. But you're not going to know where this is going to end up. Which means there's moments when I'm living in a moment that I'm going, God, this is unfair and it's wrong and I don't see you working. And just because God hasn't told you the plan doesn't mean he's not working the plan.
Most of us here would say, I trust God. Most of us here would say, I trust his plan. I believe that he has my best interest in mind. The hard part is, can we trust his timing? Patience and the ability to wait on God suggests that we trust his timing. That's why waiting on God is hard. But you know what's worse than waiting on God? Wishing that you waited on God. That however long you have to wait, it will be worth it because God's timing is perfect.